Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for another match of the Six Nations. This one, a very intriguing game. Italy versus Wales. Two sides that did not get off to the start for their Six Nations campaign that they would have been after. But this game here in Italy, someone's going to leave disappointed and the other side's going to be very happy to have their first win of the Six Nations campaign. Looking through at the way that the table currently sits, France, they're at the top of the bunch after a big victory over the Welsh in round one. In second, Scotland, and third, the Irish, who of course will want to climb that little bit higher, but those two sides play each other tomorrow as well. Looking through at the current points differential, Wales not getting the start that they would have been keen on, but this is a new game. They come in as underdogs up against the Italians. It's a home game for Italy as well, and with a backline like they've got here, you can understand why they are the favourites. Fischetti, Nicotera and Ferrari as the front row, Canoni and Russa in the locking duo with Negri, the captain Lamaro, and Canoni as the number 8. Pagerello will play 9 with Polo Garbisi at 10. Monincello and Ignacio Brex in the midfield with Capuzio, Montejoani and Tommaso Allen. Some of his kicks in the game up against Scotland extremely important, and I feel like in a game like this they are going to be once again crucial. Looking through at this Welsh team, Gareth Thomas, Lloyd and Thomas as the front row, Will Rowlands and Duff Jenkins in the locking duo with both them, Jack Morgan and Talupe Faletau for his first game since the Rugby World Cup. He slots in as the number 8 in the backline, Thomas Williams and Ben Thomas, the 9-10 combo. Ethan James in the midfield, Eddie James alongside Nick Tompkins, and then Josh Adams, Tom Rogers, and the experienced head. It was going to be Liam Williams, although on one of my team sheets it has actually got Liam Murray, so perhaps a bit of a late change there for the Welsh as well. But it is raining. It is absolutely bucketing down in Italy for this game. When is this game starting? It is starting in 3 minutes' time. They've just got the national anthems, and then we are straight into the action. We have got there, Hamish is back, man. This game carries too much weight for Wales. Lose this and meh, says Mr. Fantastic. The thing is, though, it also matters for Italy. Like, they were able to beat Wales last year in their Six Nations campaign, also beating Scotland and getting the draw up against France. So, you know, if they want any chance of being top 3, they need this win. And so do Wales. Like, it's just so crucial this early on in the competition for both of these teams. Someone's going to be happy. Someone's not going to be so happy at the end of this one. Wales to win, says Manny, and Wales to extend their losing run. Yeah, they are currently on a 13-match losing streak. They mentioned about it just before. Dan Bigger said that this is the most important game for Welsh rugby in about 20 years for whether or not they win this. If they don't win it, then that's 14 matches in a row, and they're making history for all the wrong reasons. France to win by 10 points, says Manny, and Wales are the new Italy, says Mr. Marmite. More winning spoons for Wales, says Donaldo Trumpez. That's a new one. And Go Italy, says Tyrone. And there as well. But a lot of passion being shown by this Italian side as they sing the national anthem. They're well and truly up for this game. They played well up against Scotland. They had a few little shaky moments. That's always to be expected for your first game back in a few months. But if they can learn from those games, or that game in particular, maybe, just maybe, they can get themselves a win. I'm here until we start to go up in flames, says Fleshin. Right, so we'll get to see you for the first 5 minutes anyway, Fleshin. I'm just joking, of course. I hope that Wales play well, but the problem is I also like the fact that Italy are competitive. So it's the whole situation of Wales are really struggling at the moment, whereas Italy, if they win this game, I think it will, it's going to help them in the right direction. Like, both of these teams, it's the complete opposite in a way when you hear this analogy, but it's like two undefeated fighters facing off. Of course, both of these sides heavily defeated in recent times, but the winner of that match gets that massive momentum boost in some regards because you can say you bet the other team, but at the same time, that fella that loses his undefeated streak, he drops down in those rankings, and these two sides, they can't afford to drop much lower. Definitely Wales. Wales are lucky to have not been playing the All Blacks. It would have been a slaughter. Yeah, although that can only happen in November or July, can't it? So we way away from that. Italy really played well against Scotland, says Lilia B. Yeah, they were pushing them, which is fantastic to see. And like we said, this Italian side has just gone up and up. I'll probably be reducing the house to rubble. My wife has gone out, says Fleshin. And Italy like wooden spoons, though. They use them to make tasty sauce. Now, referee in charge of this one, it will be Matthew Carley. What is the F Pro? That is James or Glenn Newman. What is the F Pro? Is that something new that we've got now? There was the TMO and then there's the F Pro. So I don't know what that is, but we'll find out, I'm sure. And why I don't know, it's probably a foolish prediction, but I have a feeling Wales are going to win it. Says Brian. It could happen. If they play well, Wales should be competitive here. But at the same time, if Italy find their rhythm early, I just don't know if Wales have got that fight in them to get back into it. Right, Matthew Carley has said time on. We are now ready to go for the Six Nations round 2 opener. Wales kicking off from right to left. Nicely taken by the Italians just outside of their 22. In fact, no, they might be inside of the 22. They haven't really painted the lines that hard or that thick. But I think that is because, of course, this stadium, normally we see football being played here. So there is the goal box. And the Italians trying to hold the Welsh player in. Yep, they are inside of their 22 and they will boot that ball into touch. Hey, I'm glad you on the Six Nations, says Reno. Of course, we did have Tim covering for us last week, which was hugely appreciated. He covered all 3 games. From here on out for the Six Nations, I believe unless something drastic happens, we should be here every single game. I love wooden spoons too. I must be Welsh somewhere, says Donaldo. And hi, Hamish. I see how many games Wales can lose on the trot. Well, it's certainly history at the moment for them. 13 in a row, and they've nicely stolen that line out back after Italy almost managed to claim it. 1 minute in. Around the side, it will be Evan Lloyd to Lupe Falatau, like I mentioned. First game since the Rugby World Cup. It's been a while since we've seen that man in action. Williams goes back across to the right-hand side. Now Ben Thomas shut down early. Now what's the prediction? Honestly, it seems pretty 50-50. Some people feeling like Italy should be able to get the win at home. Others feeling Wales are due for that win. Did ITV show adverts answer to the Welsh anthem? That would be pretty rough, wouldn't it? If they ended up showing ads. That's a nice cross kick. Doesn't sit up. No, he can't quite claim it. Josh Adams, he almost had the ball in hand. He looks like he might have injured himself in the process. But very close for Wales to score that first try. Well spotted by Thomas Williams as well. Saw there was space out wide. Just needed the pop of the ball. And that one just decided to stay flat, and Adams not able to regather to get it over the line. Scotland are improving vastly. And my mouth already said Italy win comfortably. Let's hope now. Warren Gatland, a nervous man. But at this point, does he really care? As he got the foot out the door. Oh, there's a loud noise coming from my attic. What should I do? Says Pie Man. That's a great question, really, because I'm probably not the best person to ask because I don't have an attic. So that's my logic behind it. I'd say just bang on it with a broom. Like if you stick a broom through your ceiling and something grabs onto it, run. But if they don't, then it's probably just a mouse or something. Who's Scotland? Says Donaldo. That's going to be the penalty going the way of Italy. Of course, slippery conditions today. I'll tell you what, that turf. Matthew Carley flattening it down. Unfortunately, the groundsman normally does the football here. He'll be looking at that going, oh no. Adam Jones watching on for this game. Will the All Blacks lose their Eden Park record against the Box Hamish? It's a good question. Although we still don't really know who's going to be in the sides or anything along those lines, so it's very hard to tell now. What time is that at your place? Currently, it is 3:20 a.m. for myself. We have still got another live stream just around the corner. We're going to be covering England versus France as well. Now in the pocket, Italy. Taking that one back so it can't go out on the full. That's a nice kick. Josh Adams doing well, though, to be able to claim it. Now Liam Murray kicks that one down the middle of the field. They've said the late replacement. Heavy rain will make this a forwards game. I think so, although both sides opting for kicking at the moment, so we might see a bit of territory early on. That one's gone into touch. Now line out throw for the Italians. It's probably an illegal Kiwi. So here's Mr. Marmite. And we stick a fist through the wall, but it's in his attic, Donaldo. So, like, you could put a hole in your wall, but you still won't know what's upstairs. Are you up early or not? Been to bed at all? I managed 2 hours of sleep. So that's not too bad for a weekend. And I've thrown in by Nicotera. He almost did the pump fake there. You're not allowed to do that, but luckily released it without any trouble. We're already 5 minutes in. This game's going to absolutely fly by. Paige Rello, a lot of pressure on him by Wales. Looking to get into that breakdown as well, but they've given away the penalty advantage, and this is now Tommaso Allen's kind of angle. I need more lads on the feed, Amish, says Reno. As in, like, in the chat, or, like, rather than just me? Are you up early? Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? I will look after Fleshin's wife if you want. Here's Mr. Marmite. And now, Tommaso Allen going to line up this kick. They're saying whether or not Italy were going to go for the 3 or whether they were going to go for the try. But I think easy decision here. Definitely with Tommaso Allen's accuracy. 2 hours is good. That's plenty of sleep for Snorlax, says Donaldo. Why the All Blacks making a fuss over Richie Mo'unga? There are so many in New Zealand that can take his place, says Matty M. It's because he's Razor's guy. Like, Razor wants his... I was going to say his boy toy, but that's not the right terminology. But he wants his star pupil, doesn't he? He wants his number 1. That's going to go over from Tommaso Allen. And Italy take the lead. 3 points to 0. No one can replacement. More people watching the feed, bud. Says Reno there as well. Currently 6 minutes in, 3-0. Our boy toy is crazy titty, says too wavy. Yeah, it wasn't quite the right term. Yeah, that rain is pouring at the moment for both of these sides, which means slippery ball will be a thing. Hello, Hamish's old son. How's the weather in New Zealand? Not too bad at the moment. It's been sunny. It's 14 degrees Celsius, and it's currently 3:20 a.m., so I think we got up to about 25 today, which is a decent effort. And that one's going to be kicked in a touch. Yes, go Italy, says Donaldo. He's from Scotland, as they played with Scotland, says Connor. And good start, Italy. Rainy showers for this match, mud wrestling. Our Razor should move on from his Crusaders days. Now Lloyd with the line-out throw. Italy relatively competitive at the first line-out that we saw, and they've stolen that one too. Cold and wet here in the UK. Hamish's vocabulary still in wedding mode. Maybe a little bit. The formal setting. That's going to be kicked out on the full from Paige Rello. So what's a kick? So that's what a kick looks like when it goes over. Yeah, of course, Stormers and the Bulls, they really didn't know how to get those ones between the posts. But still 2 points, Grant. Absolute best, like, to make you feel better. How was your honeymoon? Extra pillow on the seat. Says Miss I'm Nutty. I mean, I had a weird transition, but I had some problems with my feet. Not from that, but from getting burnt. It's about the bandage and whatnot needed for the holiday. That's going to go just into touch for the Italians. Couple of chances for Wales, but I feel like Italy are managing better, says Jimbo. Yeah, Italy very good at that territory game. And you're just not going to be able to force them back that often, I don't think. Tommaso Allen, his positioning is very good. I've got the backup of Garbisi. Capuzio normally hanging back there too. Mud is good for protecting from a predator, says Donaldo. And that's going to be nicely claimed by Wales. Now Thomas Williams just jogging this one forward, gives it off to Talupe Falatau. Tackled him well low. Rush defence from the Italians. Nicely done by Ferrari, who was rushing up just like one. Now, once again on the halfway line, another kicking situation. Nicely taken by Capuzio, who was just inside of his 22. Adam to the century. I like turtles. And a couple of chances for Wales. And Wales are bad these days. Wales and Italy should be replaced with Georgia and Romania, says Mr. Marmite. Oh, I know one Romanian who would be very happy with that. Although at the same time, I feel like he would also say maybe don't do that because they aren't quite ready. But they're not playing bad rugby at the moment, the Romanians. Who you're back in Lions or the Wallabies, Hamish? I just hope it's a good tour. Like, if there's a close game or a couple close games and it's 2-1 in the end rather than 3-0, I'd be happy. Show the game, please. Sadly, due to licensing, we're unable to show match footage or audio, but depending on where you are in the world, you might be able to watch the games for free. So I would recommend checking out the Six Nations website, and then you'll be able to see exactly where you can watch it. Nicely taken by Tommaso Allen at the back. Has Montiuani on the outside. Decides against using him and gets smashed back by Jack Morgan in the process. Referee telling the Italians to use it once more. Now Pedrello. Another box kick chance. I heard that there wouldn't be any All Blacks in the Anzacs team versus the Lions. That's an interesting one, seeing as it's Australia and New Zealand. Donatello, okay, Raphael, okay, wait, Leonardo, I think I can spell that one. Michelangelo. Honestly, if someone asked me to name the 4 Ninja Turtles and you guys hadn't said them, I probably wouldn't be able to. Quite sad, really. Order some Dominoes. This is going to be a sponsorship out the window, but I found that the best thing from Domino's was the sides, not the pizza. Oh, it's going to be a red restart. So Wales actually getting that one. The TMO checking something and realised that it should be the away side's line-out throw. Sad Amish says, Mr. Marmite, why is Joe Schmidt stepping down? I don't really know. Like, I guess after the British and Irish Lions tour, there's not much else up until that World Cup, so maybe he's hoping someone else will be able to build them towards it. Name all the Power Rangers. I don't think I could name one. I thought that the Power Rangers names were colours, weren't they? Like the red one. Blue? Probably. Pink? Was there a pink one? But yeah, I don't know what their names would be. It's going to be kicked downfield. I've never seen an episode of the Power Rangers. Now Rogers kicks high. And nicely taken by the youngster Blair Murray to have a bit of a stint at the Crusaders. At one point in New Zealand to Lupe Falatau. They've got numbers here on the outside Wales. That's a forward pass out to Adams. Hamish has no TV, says Mr. Marmite. Rather remember rugby players. Who cares? Titles, etc. Says Robert. And someone calling this Wales only win of the tournament, says Reno. Well, they're going to have to work hard for it. They're currently down by 3. It's a great take under the high ball, though, from Blair Murray. And yeah, that pass just drifting forward in the end. Oh, who cares turtles rather than who cares titles. Now Adams. Well, he's been kind of busy at this point. He's had a couple chances, but none really going to hand. All been relatively tricky for him. Now, another scrum. The last time the turf got absolutely destroyed. And Joe Schmidt should come back to the All Blacks after the Lions. Look at what he did with them at the 2023 World Cup. Says Manny M. Domino's sponsors side dishes too. That's true. Like if they brought out a new side dish, I had one of their hot dogs. It was interesting. But like the garlic bread's good. You really would struggle to mess up garlic bread. Although after the wedding, like there's a story to do with garlic bread, but I won't say it. just because it would take too long. But 13 minutes, another knock-on coming from the Welsh. Now going off to the right-hand side, Lamaro has the pass. Oh, that's a risky one, and it's going to be knocked on by Capuzio. Hot dog is not pizza, correct. It's a side. And although they do stick a wiener in the crust sometimes, and that's not an innuendo, but yeah, they do that now, don't they? Italy beating the Welsh counter isn't good enough. They'll kick it all day long. Cheesy garlic bread is better, says Donaldo. Do Wales look like scoring? They've had a couple close ones with Josh Adams, but nothing sticking yet. Now another scrum. Could be a day for it, definitely because of the amount of rain. Hot dog is a meal for me, says Donaldo. Can't wait for the France and England clash. It's going to be a big game, taking place in only about 2 hours' time. We are going to be covering that one on the channel as well. And save it for halftime. We love a garlic bread story, says Lilia B. You have to remind me or else I might end up forgetting. But now Thomas Williams taking the free kick. It's a good kick in behind. Oh no, hasn't curled. And, oh, it's pulled up in the in-goal area though. A little bit of luck for Thomas Williams. Got a bit too much on it. You can't beat a bacon sandwich. And it will be another match. There will be questions about this week, ref, says David. Feel free to hit the like button, says Robert. Yeah, anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And be sure to hit like as well. But goal line dropout now for the Italians. Lupe Falatau. He's going to build up some speed. And great low tackle made by Nicotera. Now, penalty goes the way of Wales playing the halfback. This game should open up later, hopefully. Yeah, I think the weather might impact it a little bit. We might not get as much free-flowing rugby as we might have hoped for. But they're playing to the conditions. Like, Wales here is going to take on the 3. And Tomo Williams needs to take a deep breath. He's in panic mode. Says Jimbo. It looks like we're actually going to see a sub here. 23. That's going to be for Nick Tompkins. That's a big hit. Very talented player. He's not happy about it, but he's going off for a head injury assessment. Josh Hathaway. Third cap. He's on the field a lot earlier than he would have expected to be. That is for sure. Now Tom Rogers. Actually going to have... Oh, no, sorry. Ben Thomas, I should say. 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes is the world record, says Mr. Marmite. That's a lot of hot dogs. But they're quite cheap from Domino's. I think it was like $2.50 or something for a hot dog. Or maybe $3. So, like, you could get a few of those. They'd be expensive world record to try and beat. Definitely if you fail. Hamish, I have to run to the supermarket for my cheese rolls with garlic. That kick has gone over. 3-3 now between these two teams. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game than a lot of people hope for. I will just clarify that now because of the rain. Mistakes like that are killing Wales. They need to cut that out and come on Wales, says Sebastian. Which team could beat France? That's the question. Are we talking out of these two sides or are we talking in general? Because Italy did draw with France last year. Believe it or not. Now, nicely taken by Lupe Falatau. It's great to see him back in that Welsh number 8 jersey. Now, Thomas Williams. Again, we'll look to send this one down towards the touchline and does get the ball out. Do Italy want to take it quickly? They do not. Hamish, what language does Algeria and all Middle East speak? Algeria. Is there such a thing as Algerian? I think it's Arabic, isn't it? I could be wrong, though. I'm having Chinese tonight. You like Chinese food? I don't mind Chinese food. I like a chicken fried rice. Goes well. Arabic says I'm nutty. Hamish, can you show us some grass for this game? Sadly not, but I can tell you it's getting pretty roughed up. There we go, good there. Come no Italy. Wales is a bad, says Francisco there. Algeria is French and Arabic. Oh, okay, so they got a bit of French in there. What is 83 hot dogs in feet? Seems long to me. You're probably looking at about 7 inches per hot dog, maybe a bit longer. So 7 inches times 83, I'm not sure how much that is. I listen to you from Clarence, says Michael. Welcome in, mate. It's going to be another knock on this time against the Welsh. So Italy, they will be in possession. Paige Rello digging around in the breakdown for it. Can't get it though. Another scrum. A lot of scrums in this match. If you love scrums, you'll love this one. So that's what 3 points looks like, says Fleshin. The best European food is Chinese and Indian. That's a fact, says Sebastian. What's New Zealand's best-selling beer? A lot of people get the Spates Ultra, I think, is one of the more popular ones. Bit of Dobro, as they call it, but that's double brown. Export Gold, DB Draft, Heineken's go all right in terms of sales, I think. Coronas, I think they sold a few up until, they got associated with something, even though it wasn't their fault. And yeah, those are probably all of them, I would say. He inhaled half a rugby pitch and hot dogs, says Donaldo. I love Chinese food and Irish food. What's Irish food? What would be an Irish dish that you'd say that's purely Irish and purely brilliant? Don't say Guinness. Looks like a bit of an injury here. I think that is Henry Thomas. No, in fact, it's Gareth who is down. Hopefully we'll be all right to continue. The last thing Wales want is early injuries. Beef stew, says Padraig. An Irish stew. So what is involved in a beef stew, Padraig? What would you put in it? I'd assume there'd be beef. That's the only thing I would know. How's the Super Rugby Pacific? It's coming up. Next weekend starting up. Should be a good one. Potato, says Donaldo. Irish food equals potatoes. And Guinness with a whiskey chaser. I made the best curry in the UK. South Africa PMB recipe. I has to stand 12 hours to brew. That's a long time. Commitment. Yeah, just a stoppage here while Gareth Thomas does get a little bit of attention. Irish stew is anything they put in a pot. Boiled potatoes with mash and chips, says Robert. Wait, so you boil potatoes, then you have it with mash, and then... Oh, I get what you're saying. I was about to say, that's a lot of spud. A beefless beef stew. Is it raining? Or it is raining in Italy. Yeah, it's pouring down. I'm going to marry potato. Why? But now, Paige Rello going off to the right-hand side. Quick hands. Nice work from Garbisi. Puts in the grubber. Capuzio gets it down. Celebrating. Oh, hang on. Garbisi's going like that. He's saying maybe not, but the tries awarded. Surely if the ref saw Garbisi going, not sure, you'd go upstairs, wouldn't you, rather than just blowing it straight away? Not much in the first 20 minutes, says Reno. Try Indian butter chicken. I have tried butter chicken. Butter chicken is very nice. Right, they are going to check this one to see if there is a grounding. Yeah, beautiful sell of the dummy, the little grubber, and then... Tell you what, it doesn't look too bad for Capuzio. I think he's got that. He slammed his head hard on the ground. It's going to be the knee. Nah, that's a try, I think. And I need to have an authentic Kiwi lamb rack. Coach Brendan McCullum's favourite dish. And best hand so far, says Jimbo. And now the kick from the sideline from Tommaso Allen, and it's gone over again. 10 points to 3 in favour of Italy. So a good start for the home side. And Garbisi just sold the dummy, got rid of Halloway. We love garlic naan and butter chicken, says Donaldo. We don't have much in terms of special cuisine in Ireland. Good to see you back, Hamish. Hope you didn't catch anything like a wedding posy. Try, says Eric J. I only sunburnt my feet. That was about it. Oh, to Lupe Falatau. He's not going to be too flash after that one. That was big contact for the number 8. He's back to his feet, but you could see the sweat and the water, the rain all coming off him. Going to be good under the high ball once again there, Murray. A brilliant finish, says Grant. Another big shot on Henry Thomas. Thomas Williams now looking for the territory. You just aren't going to win it up against the Italians. Misses touch, and Italy knocked them back with a brilliant kick, and they're just outside of their 22 now, Wales. Territory gain 50.3 metres. Thomas Williams will learn eventually, do not play kicking with the Italians. The England versus France will be shown in the UK free. Says Manny M, who's going to win the rugby? I mean, at the moment, Italy's looking pretty strong. Looks like Falatel, MIA. He looks like he's all right to continue. He has just claimed that line out. Oh, having to take a diving catch there. Gabriel and Allen wrecking Wales. Says Jimbo. Oh, Thomas Williams going to be going for another kick here. This one just outside of his own 22. That's about where you want to be kicking from. Oh, not actually that safe under the high ball there. Monty Ioane dropping that one. No, we drink, not eat Guinness, says Padraig. Now, Pedrello kicking him behind. Holloway, bit of pressure on him. Monty Ioane rips him down. And followed up Lorenzo Canoni. They're inside of their own 22. Here for Wales. Ball is still in, so they are able to kick this one into touch. Who do you think will win, my guy? Honestly, like, throughout this first 23 minutes, I'd say Italy look like the better team. But that doesn't mean that Wales can't, find some sort of momentum later on in this game. Nicely slapped back by the Italians, but picked up now by Wales with Will Rowlands. Now Thomas Williams. Drop ball. It is slippery out there. Henry Thomas has to jump on it. Best show I had in Napoli. Family Vittoria. No menu as it comes magic, says Graham. And so as well as the New Italy, says Donaldo. They're in a rough patch. And it's been a long rough patch. 13 matches in a row. In fact, who was the last team that Wales beat? That would be a fun trivia question that I'm sure someone will know. Was it in the Six Nations? 13 games. That's pretty much your full season, isn't it? And where was the wedding? The Sun's Anvil? No, it was up in the Coromandel. And I learnt the sun's quite harsh up there. So yeah, the feet are still looking a bit rough, I think is the best way of describing it. I won't show you my foot, but you have to believe me. Thomas Williams now going off to the left-hand side again. Australia in the Rugby World Cup. Says Novmum. Maybe. Yeah, 2023 wouldn't be a mile off. You mean 14 matches in a row? Would be if they lost this one. What does Wales need to improve? I think they just need to be a little bit, it sounds simple, but just a bit smarter. They're also dropping the ball every 5 seconds. That's another drop ball from Rowlands. Time is needed. Says Robert. Right, Matthew Carley saying that he felt like the tackle height did drop. And Wales need 23 rugby players to improve. But yeah, like so far in this game, their tactics been bad, which sounds harsh, and of course it's easier to say from here, but they've tried to play territory with Italy about 4 times, and every time they've lost meters badly in the process. So I feel like Italy will just keep on going. Is this game to see who's the least bad in the north? Says Robert. I mean, it's quite an important one in terms of, like, a lot of people are following, of course, who will end up with the wooden spoon, and I would say whoever loses this game will be a lot closer to getting it. That's going to be a free kick now for the Italians. Pedrello takes it quickly, going for the 50-22, and he's got it. It's just very good from the Italians. Smart, switched on rugby. Italy will always be the most bad, says Mr. Marmite. But yeah, taking the quick tap. Seeing that there was no one back there, Murray tried to cover it, but it just is too strong of a kick. Always angling towards the sideline, and drop a super glue might help Wales. That's brilliant, said Sebastian. Yeah, that was one of the smoothest 22 or 50-22s I think we've seen in a little while. Right, Nick Tompkins passing the HIA, so he will actually be back out onto the field for Wales soon. I got to appreciate smart rugby. Here's Lilia B. Yeah, the question is, can they make the most of it? They're in a good position on the field, 22 metres out now. It'd be disappointing for Wales if Italy runs away with this. Says Reno. Okay, last team was the Barbarians in 2023. Last international was Georgia, also 2023. Oh, drop kick attempted off the left boot. Oh, just short for the Italians. It's gone through the posts, but below it in terms of the crossbar. Not the old one, says Mr. Marmite. He struck it quite well, Garabisi. Italy very confident, which is dangerous, says Robert. Our responsibilities for each position and roles isn't matured enough. Leadership like 15. Says JD. Oh, yeah, looks like it's going to be Hathaway now making his way off the field. That is for Nick Tompkins. Returns after passing the head injury assessment. Just the one try so far throughout this first half with Capuzio. Wales, they had a couple early chances with Josh Adams, but they haven't really had a crack in the last maybe 15, 20 minutes. Now, nicely taken by Wales, Will Rowlands. Oh, I'll tell you what, Italy in the breakdown straight away, and they win another penalty for not releasing. This might be Wales' only chance for a win this year. And the fact people are talking about Italy running away with it shows how much Welsh rugby has fallen. We've got their next time on border security. A detected dog shows an interest in a Czech couple's remaining 3 suitcases. It's all too familiar. Oh, no, sorry, but it's all too much for the female passengers. Are you watching Border Patrol at the moment, Padraig? Is that what's going on? You've got me on a cliffhanger, though. I want to know what happened to the Czech woman. Now, 12 minutes. How many suitcases did they have? Exactly right. We need more information. Marcel Allen. Sitting 2 from 2 so far. Ferrari for Italy as a top player. Very strong tight ear prop. Now, Wales are not looking like they're winning this, says Brian. And still thinking if England can win the French game, it's going to be a better game than this. And that one has gone over. And it will be better weather, more than likely. Right, Matthew Carley just having a bit of a chat there with the two sides in terms of the holding players and the breakdown. What do you think the mental pressure is too much? Or do you think the mental pressure is too much for the young Wales players? Honestly, I don't think so. I think it's just that they're quite far behind in terms of like experience. All left when Dan Bigger, Lee Halfpenny, like Davis, all those guys all left pretty much at the same time. And Alan Wynne-Jones even from there. They just need more time with these younger guys because they just haven't had, like most of them don't have game time under their belt. Like they had Hathaway make his way off the bench before. He's had 3 caps, including this one. That's rain and drizzle in London today as well. Okay, so it might be a little bit lower scoring, but I do still think both sides will have the ability of like doing quite well. Maybe mid-20s in the score department. 21 new players, need time to glue. Yeah. Like, so it's very easy to just say they're doing badly, they're losing games. But when you look into their team, you can kind of see why. If the Czech woman gets arrested, you rub salt in the wound by saying, check, mate. Yes. You might get in trouble for doing it, but it's just the perfect line, is it not? I get Capuzzo on. Oh no, get Cappuccino on, says Eric. Another penalty goes to the Italians. How many games has Wales lost? I can't find it. So it's 13 in a row at the moment. So, not the greatest record we've ever seen for a side. Italy's going to win 100%, says too wavy. And we have it takes time to rebuild a winning team. And last week was for Wales, says Soundest. Yeah, it's just some of the sides at the moment that they're playing, the likes of France, like they're on another level. Just currently, update score, please. At the moment, there we go. I was going to say, at the moment, I'm waiting for it to update itself, but I had to wiggle my mouse a little bit, and it's done it. Watching the Six Nations and still thinking they really need to step up if they want to face the Springboks and the Kiwis, says Reno. Yeah, although it's very different in the November and July internationals. You know, we saw some close games with teams playing New Zealand and South Africa throughout November. I mean, France beat New Zealand. So, like, you know, it is what it is, but different styles as well, I think, is the big factor. Warren Gatland earns a cool £580,000 annually for Wales to lose. Pretty good gig, isn't it? Being able to get that much money for losing. But he's not that fussed. Like he said right back at the start, if he knew the state of the team, he wouldn't have taken the job. So he's just going, well, if you want to get rid of me, you got to pay me out. I'm not leaving. I don't mind losing all these games. And it's probably going to be his last coaching job anyway, unless he looks at like a club side somewhere. He'll be happy. Gatland should have gone 5 games ago, says Brian. And Georgia should join the Six Nations, says Robert. It would be cool, but at the same time, like, I still feel like they need just a little bit more. Not much more, but just a bit more, you know, 1 or 2 more years of getting better, building up their talent, and then maybe that conversation can take place. Maybe they're one of those sides that get added into the 12-team competition that's coming up with the Six Nation sides, the Rugby Championship teams. You should get a job in Ireland. You're a way better commentator on now in Virgin Media. Is like listening to Teeth on a Blackboard. Teeth on a Blackboard. That sounds brutal, to be fair. But thank you very much, David. Greatly appreciated. Manoncello. Or sorry, not Manoncello. It is Tommaso Allen. Once again with another kick here. Give Italy a 13-point lead. And he's got it. 16 points to 3. Wales drifting behind here. Yeah, but they arrived from America to Australia. And we've got there Scotland, one of my favourites, to be honest. But who will Georgia replace? Yeah, it's very easy for them to say, like, oh, get rid of Wales, they're losing all their games. But, like, the last game that Wales won, they actually beat Georgia. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. Of course, very different side at that point. Now, trying to steal that ball. Thomas Williams can't quite get it. Pagerello going to the short side. And stolen in the breakdown from Jack Morgan. Wales now. That looked like they had a little bit more fire under them, or at least a little bit of attacking intent when it came to the breakdown. Rough pass, though. That's a tackle off the ball from Tommaso Allen. Now trying to step his way through. It's going to be the young number 15, Blair Murray, and they'll go back for the knock-on. And, mate, I'm so happy that the Bulls won against the Stormers. It's a historic day for the Bulls. Unfortunately, in the international arena, the Bucks falls on the coach, says Neville. But then, like I said, Gatland, like, the only way they get rid of him is if they pay him out. You know, there would have been something in that contract that said they couldn't just sack him randomly. So, you know, it might be his last coaching gig. But if he's getting paid all this money, he won't mind too much, I wouldn't think. Like, he can only do so much. I agree, Georgia's Six Nations, or in the Six Nations, is a good idea. Now trying to figure out how you can physically scratch your teeth on a blackboard. Maybe Bugs Bunny could do it. I think I could do it. I think you just got to, from that angle, you know, kind of stick them out like that, and then just go straight down. You got to have your head at an angle, though, so that your nose doesn't stop it. Oh, nice run forward from Nick Tompkins. It's at about 20 metres out from the line now for Wales, and they do need a try before the end of this first half. If they can't get one, it's going to be trouble for them. And Tate gets away from us. Sears Fleshin. Another good low tackle. Back across now, Ben Thomas. It's just stagnant It's the best way. Oh, nice little kick in behind, though, from Thomas Williams. Oh, he got that one that time, Josh Adams, but then he dropped it on the way through. So it's going to be a third chance for Adams that he hasn't been able to gather. Fun fact, Spain has played in the Six Nations. Wales, the second most successful team. They have 150 years of beating their neighbours. They're going nowhere, says Jimbo. And not only the ref could beat the Bulls, justice for the Bulls. So sad about Kay Burl. I have no idea who that is, unfortunately. Get your head at an angle so your nose doesn't stop it. Title of Hamish's tape. Now 3 minutes and a half remaining. Chance for Wales. The crowd are starting to make a little bit of noise. Few travelling fans wanting to see something good. Nice quick set play, but they're forced into touch. Just running out of space for the Welsh. Make it the Eight Nations. Add Portugal and Georgia. Warren Gatland is contracted until the 2027 World Cup. I don't think the Welsh Rugby Union can afford to pay him off. So here's Neville. Wales man scored with his foot through, but no try. Now Italy once again got the ball. There's Canoni with the ball. Now looking to kick this one towards the touchline for Pagerello. That sounded like it may have taken a slight deflection off a finger. Or did it? No, did not. Wales only has 3 million peoples. So here's Mr. All-In. Josh Adams is only a shadow of his former self. So here's Jimbo. That's the thing. A couple years ago, he would have finished at least 2 of the 3 chances, I think. But once again, it's sad for Wales because you want to see them do better, but at the moment, you just don't know how they can, if that makes sense. It's really disappointing seeing Wales not performing against Italy. But of course, we shouldn't take anything away from the Italians. They've actually played a very smart, strategic game of rugby here. Nice attack and run from Josh Adams. That was forward by about 2 metres. Referees called it in the end. My point is, it's worse than fingernails on a blackboard, says David. And I want a backpack, but I have no backpack. You might need to get one then, Mr. Marmite. Yeah, forward by a good metre or 2. But now, 1 minute remaining. I think they should almost be able to close out this half just by keeping this ball. Then putting it into touch. Hamish, it's been 20 years since the documentary about the tsunami in Indonesia, Thailand, and Sri Lanka, 2004. I did not know that. Maybe Wales have moved on to football now. Wales are playing like Wales, says Kevin. What is a backpacker called if he has no backpack? If he's just walking, you just call him by his name. I'm just a walker, I guess. I like Beach Wales. And 4 passes are Gatland's new tactics. Okay, they've been told that they must strike the ball, Italy, and if they leave it in there, then it will be a free kick against them. Strong guys come from the Welsh coal mines before they closed, says Robert. Now 10 seconds left in the half. Ball got stuck in there. Just like the boots have in the turf, there have been quite a few divots that have been created by the forwards. Hamish, why don't you give Wales mouth to revive them? I think Gatland can do that. I don't think I have to do it. But, yeah, they need something in the second half, or else this will probably end up being about a 32-10 type of game. Italy should be, from here on, looking for that bonus point. I feel like I'd be surprised if they lost the game from here. But, of course, never say never. 2 converted tries for Wales, and that would put them in the lead. Oh, another penalty going the way of the Italians. So they'll actually get one more chance to attack here. Who will be new manager for Wales? Honestly, I don't know who will want the job. You can't be a backpacker without a backpack. I guess not. That's going to be kicked into touch. Or is it? No, they don't find it. And now Wales kicking this ball downfield. I'm not sure why Josh Adams did that. Now Gardabisi will just kick the ball out. And that's the end of the half. I don't know why Adams didn't just kick it out if he was keen to get the half over. He gets paid enough so he can do it, says Lilia B. And Italy will beat Wales, says Patrick. Yeah, half time in this contest, just a one try for Ange Capuzzo. Tommaso Allen doing very well off the kick and tee. And Gareth Edwards must be having a heart attack, says Kevin, and that was very one-sided. Yeah, territory-wise, like, Wales just couldn't get out of their half. And when they did, they had those little opportunities and they weren't able to finish them. A backpacker without a backpack is a robbery victim. I guess that could be the case. Mouth to mouth, I'd use a leaf blower. It's more hygienic. Depends on where your leaf blower's been, though. But a backpack will always be a backpack, so deep, says RIP there. But yeah, second half, probably about 10 or so minutes away. Afternoon, Hamish, says Stuart. Welcome in, Stuart. Hope you are keeping well. We have still got that next game taking place between France and England. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Irish, it's cloudy in Ireland. Toby Booth says, Fleshin, Amish, you have to get our permission before you go to a wedding. Says Kevin, I'll know for next time, although I've run out of people getting married for now. So that's all right. But, yeah, it was unfortunate timing in some regards for the first round of the Six Nations. All right, time to light the fire, says Sakabula. It's always cloudy in Ireland. And Gats playing without a proper 10 is killing us, says Fleshin. But then who are the other options other than Ben Thomas at the moment in terms of that Welsh 10 jersey? It's okay, divorce rate is high, says I'm nutty. Never heard of Welsh cricket. Can I stay at your house, Hamish, if I back to New Zealand? Probably not, to be honest. Just because, from your chat, I can guarantee you won't stab me. Just saying, Second half. If Wales do more of the same, they will lose. You can make an honest woman of Ruth H. Come on, man, says Mr. Marmite and garlic bread story, please. Oh, yeah. I had the worst garlic bread based thing that I had ever eaten at the wedding. Or not at the wedding, but like the day before we went to the same place as the wedding was going to be. And we got pizzas. And they had one which was like a garlic. It was supposed to be garlic and cheese pizza, which sounds fine. But they didn't put cheese on it. So it was just it was a thin, dry base with a few little chunks of garlic and rosemary on it. And it was awful. Fun story. So, out of all the pizzas that we got, that one was the only one that had some pieces left. And every time someone bit into it, I could see them trying to contemplate whether or not they should bother continuing eating it or whether they should just chuck it in the bin. I would have sent that pizza back, says Sakabula. Can I stay with you, RIP? Amish, I can stay here in Durban for one night free. That would be kind of fun. It could be dangerous, right? But being able to do something how it's like, if I was, I'd probably get kidnapped at some point. But rather than staying in a hotel in South Africa, being able to stay with subscribers along the way and a different house, different family, different lifestyle, I guess, each night in South Africa. But yeah, I think I'd get robbed more than likely. And we have got there, only celebrities can stay. I'm a celebrity. So it was bruschetta, not pizza. Yeah, it was supposed to be a pizza though. Your teeth are too white, says Donaldo. They're not really. I think it's just the lighting, to be honest. Like some days they look better than others from the light, and today's one of those days that they look all right. I love your stories, says Lily B. I can cut the grass for food. Call of the yellow hammer, a little bit of bread and no cheese, says Eric. But yeah, it was so bad. Like, in the nicest way possible, we both, like, at the very start, me and my cousin, we both took a bite, and we both went, nah. And all the South African ladies might kidnap you, Hamish, says Brian. And Hamish, you'd have a hard time with the food in South Africa, too much flavour for you, says Grant. I'd have to expand my horizons, wouldn't I? I can't guarantee I wouldn't get put in either Ruth or Caitlin's like basement though and locked there if I went to South Africa. And fame is employing someone to say you're famous. And if someone gets their face blurred, then they don't appear on camera. I guess that's a very factual statement. You're going to watch DDP versus Strickland? I'm hoping to. I should be awake by then, as it's at like 4 p.m. or something. I think the main card starts. But yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on it, just see how they go. But yeah, it will be an interesting fight. Just because of the last time, how it was so close and back and forth. This one won't be any different. Now we have got there Padraig on another channel. Great works, Italy. Second half, 40 minutes to go, says JD. I want my face blurred, says Padraig. So you want to be on a show so that you can get your face blurred? Is that what you're saying? I think that's the reasoning behind it. They got highlights of Saracens versus Castra. That seems like a really weird game to do, unless they're doing it because the next game that's taken place is England versus France. Because other than that, like, these two sides don't even, like, they're not playing in this one. I want his face smeared. I want his face smeared. What does that mean? Don't appear on camera, says Patrick. The best way to avoid being on camera is to avoid cameras. I should be awake at 4 p.m. lol, says Donaldo. Fight DDP and get your face blurred. I hope I'm awake at 4 p.m. in other words, says Donaldo. I know you're picking for a win in Super Rugby. I mean, the Blues look like they should go all right. Hurricanes, I don't think, will be a mile off either. Chiefs could be there, yeah. I think of the overseas sides, you know, the Brumbies are normally somewhere thereabouts. But you'll have to see how it goes. Do you have a backpack? You're still on the backpacks, Mr. Marmite. But in terms of the benches, I should mention them before we get into the second half, seeing as I don't think it will be too long before we see some changes. We saw a little tiny bit of Holloway. He was on the field rather than Nick Tompkins. For Wales, they've got D, Smith and Azarati as their front row replacements. Thomas and Wainwright. Then Williams, Edwards, and it is Holloway as at number 23 for the Italians. They still have the other Garbisi. They've got Zuliani, Riccioni. They've got some great players, and they'll be trying their best to really get that points differential up for them. Because currently it is sitting 13. So they'll be sitting, I mean, it would put them above England. A lot of pressure on England to win their game, or else Italy will be above them after 2 rounds. That is, of course, if Italy win, which we are not saying it's a guarantee, but it's looking more likely at the moment than a Welsh comeback. But the beauty of rugby is it can all change in a bit of an instant. I'm looking through at what's coming up for these two sides. Italy play France at home. It will be in around 14, 15 days' time. And Wales play Ireland, and then England versus Scotland. Of course, their own individual cup being played for in that game. Those are around 14 days away. In the chat there, we have got there Mr. Marmite as just his dark side. He's actually a florist that writes Hallmark cards for extra money. And we have good there. I'll definitely come say hi to you if you go to the Shark Tank. I love that you're still here. 6 tinnies of lager down after the Bulls game. Don't know if I'll manage the England game too, but I'm here for you, Hamish, says Robert. Yeah, it is great to see you once again. Sounds like you're having a pretty big afternoon at this point. Wales can't make any line breaks, can't create anything, can't score tries, and their ball handling is awful. Yeah, like, there's many things going wrong with this Welsh team at the moment. Like, they just needed to take those chances when they almost got the try of Adams multiple times. Like, they have to get one of those. Because then at the end of the day, you're sitting maybe 10, 16 down. You're still a converted try away. But it's better than being 13 away. Mixed rugby analogies and Confucius is a bad idea. You have no house but don't travel. Where do you shelter? Ronan O'Gara to the Wallabies or not? I think it could be an option. Like, he probably wouldn't be the worst coach that they could bring in. In fact, he's probably one of the better guys that they could look at. Tackled by Kapauzo, I should say. I saw Grant say it earlier on. His try wasn't even his best play. Italy above England, I think, is the first sentence ever been spoken. And Pedro Christian Eriksen collapsed in 2021. That's 3 years ago. Denmark versus Finland. Did you see it? I do remember that happening. I used to sign Eriksen all the time in my career mode on FIFA. And player of the first half, I would say, well, Paige Rello's controlled this game quite nicely. His quick tap and get a 50-22 afterwards was pretty impressive. I would say that Tommaso Allen, his kicking's been good. And then, a few of the forwards haven't looked too bad either. So, yeah, honestly, you could give it to about 3. You've been disappointingly sober, cool story, bro. There's Jimbo. And just no cheeky return to the Wallabies. And Italy is so good that they're proving their doubters wrong. Here's Gregor. And Tommaso Allen. Here's Jimbo there as the best one as well. And their number 10. Okay, so you're saying Paulo Garbisi. And to be fair, he did get the try assist to Kapauzo. Just watching the highlights of Saracens versus Castra, just so that I know exactly when this game's likely to come back, because normally you work on the theory, if they get to 80 minutes, you're not too far away. They're at 77.5 at the moment. So I'd say we're probably only about 3 minutes away from the second half getting underway. What is wrong with Wales? There's a lot. Unfortunately, it's just like a lack of experience. The handling's been poor. Tactically, it's been wrong. So, yeah, I feel sorry for them. How do you kick a rugby ball so it curls like a boomer? It hits you in the face. It'd be very tricky to do, I would think. And painting in the rain, cool jobs, I have time. And I will make them suffer, says Mr. Marmite. There's a bit of wind. Might change the outcome of all the kicking second half, says Jimbo. Yeah, and we've still got to remember there is rain in this contest. So that is one of the reasons why we're seeing quite a few handling errors throughout that first half. But, yeah. They're going to need a bit of something very soon. Just looking here, we're about 13 minutes into the halftime break. So normally you're looking at 15 minutes, I would say. Being the rugby ball like Beckham. Says Donaldo there. I should mention the next game that we are covering. It is going to be the matchup between England and France. And we are going to be starting that live stream in an hour and 15 minutes time. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Still got that one. And then we've also got Scotland versus Ireland tomorrow night. I will be covering that one. It is starting at 4 a.m. New Zealand time, but we are going to be up and covering it. Talking about the football that will be taking place. This ground that they're playing at, normally a football stadium. I don't feel sorry. We are what we are for a reason until the stuff is cut out. We will stay bad. And England-France is tasty. Yeah, it's going to be a good game, hopefully. Well, without jinxing it, and without the weather playing too much of a factor, it should be good. Right, they're talking about whether or not Gatlin will look at making some early changes Looked like Lloyd was slapping himself around as he made his way out onto the field, which is good, I guess. That might help. They need something, Wales. Because the thing is, they're down by 13, and the chances aren't high for winning this game. But if they can score first, you're at least roughly in the ballpark, you know. It's starting to take a step in the right direction. Just talking about the try scorer, Ange Capozzo. And Rowlands is having a howler as a Welshman. I'm ashamed to say I support this, says David. To be fair though, David, to your credit, you've stuck with them, which I think is a lot more than a lot of Welsh rugby supporters have done. So the fact that you're still there with them is quite cool in a way. Right, Matthew Carley just getting taped up here. Foul play review officer. Was that what that abbreviation was earlier on that I couldn't remember what it was called? Right, they've just mentioned there that Wales have never lost up against the Italians at the stadium. And no way Wales is winning any games the Six Nations, says Donaldo. And so scoring here, I thought there would be more tries. There probably would have been if this was a dry game rather than being wet. I think that's been the big difference maker. Just those rainy conditions led to a lot more handling errors than we are used to seeing. Right, second half sounds like we are just about to get underway. Ready for the second 40 minutes. Right, whistle has been blown. We are now underway yet again. Right, can they do something in this half? Can they create an opportunity? Or is it going to be more for the Italians? They will still want 3 more tries, Italy. That would give them 5 points, which could push them towards top 2. Nicely taken by Tommaso Allen. And he's managed to slap it back onto the side of the Italians, although Wales managing to claim it back with Rowlands. Just have to be sure in what they're doing here, Wales. No hesitation. Monty Ioane at the back. Hasn't had a huge amount of runs so far throughout this game. Big kick downfield from the Italians. If Italy score first, game over, says Donaldo. And Wales can't play simple rugby. Quick ball, looking for gaps, getting ball out wide quickly. They are so slow and unconfident, says General. Probably a really fair assessment. They seem like there's always something in the back of their mind saying, don't do what you're about to do. So then they just sit there and take that little bit longer. And that's all opposition need to be able to get right in their face and stop their momentum. Now line out throw for Nicotera. That's going to be stolen by Wales at line out time. Managed to claim that possession. Thomas Williams going off to the left-hand side here. Just talking about that late replacement for Jenkins. Right, the ball is out. Tied by Thomas Williams again. Monty Ioane running onto it. Thought about going for the turnover. Neither of these teams should be in the Six Nations. It's like getting Guam to play in the championship, says Robert. To be fair, Italy have come a long way in the last little while, though. I feel like they do deserve some credit for how they've grown throughout recent times. Going to be kicked high now from Pedrello. And, that's a chopping tackle low from Monty Ioane, but managing to slip through it was Blair Murray. Now Williams. Just no pace. Williams again, back into the pocket to Ben Thomas. Go with the up and under. Claimed by Italy, who once again will go for the 50-22 Garbisi, though. He might have got a little bit too much of this. This will be a massive bonus. If it goes dead, no. Once again, it pulls up just 1 metre short of the dead ball line. Hasn't gone in to touch Monty Ioane running down the wing here. Murray makes another important tackle. He's had a good game so far for the Welsh. Definitely since he was a late inclusion, replacing Liam Williams. I'd make it the Eight Nations stick in Georgia and either Portugal or Romania. Rome wasn't built in a day, says Robert. Chip in behind. Mark is called by Tom Rogers. Yes, Italy has improved and Wales just isn't Wales anymore, says Donaldo. Right, they're being told to play it. I think that's Rogers' first touch of the ball. They've really targeted going out wide to Josh Adams. Nicely taken at the back again by Murray. Thomas. To Evan Lloyd. Now Williams to Thomas again. Slowly making meters. Just to get 10 phases. Be a little win for Wales. Right, Williams being told to use it. They will not try for those 10 phases. They will instead say Italy have a crack with the ball. Running on to it, Capuzzo. Doesn't quite get the ball back, so Wales back in possession. Thomas Williams now again will go for the kick, and it's kicked out on the full. Touched a foot, not the ball. So it is going to be yet again another Italian line out. Italy stole past it from the Chinese. I've got to say Marco Polo. Oh, that's confused me. And Tomo having a nightmare, says Jimbo. Right, Elliot D, Nicky Smith, and Azarati now making their way onto the park. So Wales deciding to make those early changes of their front rows. Now Nicotera again. Ready to throw it, and there's money in it, all right, says Ruth. A nice step in from Canoni. Ball pops out the side, and now it will be Nicolo. The worst part of that pizza was probably the rosemary. I can't stand that herb on anything, just a thought. Yeah, rosemary for me, like they always say have it with lamb, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, and it was all you could taste. And there was no like juiciness or anything to the base. It was just real dry. That's going to be a great run. 40 for Wales. Kicking in behind. Is it going to pull up? Oh, it goes into the end goal. Oh, hang on. Okay, Tommaso Allen must have just got that one. Because if he didn't, Thomas Williams almost was able to score. If you want to promote rugby union, get it more popular, you need to expand it, says Calmac. And game on, a shot for every yawn from Hamish. It's going to be a few. Like I said, we only had 2 hours sleep, so there might be a couple. Oh. Tell you what, he didn't have huge control over that. Tommaso Allen. Faletau running it hard. Nicotera. Get the halfbacks off, please. And a Welsh feel under pressure. They're rushing too much, calm them down. And spaghetti and meatballs is my favourite fake Italian dish, says Donaldo. And Italy again in the breakdown. Lamaro celebrates. He gets yet again another turnover. It's a great tackle from Manoncello. I just want to quickly see. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was about to say they had Wales as $1.87, only 4 cents less than Italy, but that was with a betting line of plus 14. So that means that they're not even sure if Wales will be within 14 points at the end of this game. How old are you, says Matthew? First of all, Matthew, how old do you think I am? You're probably going to say either a lot old. I think that you'll go older. I feel like doing these late night live streams has aged me a few years. Have you had a little sleep? Eventually you start hallucinating Wales beating Italy. And Negri in beast mode, says Jimbo. Now retreating the Italians. 54.8 metres that kick was. Allen's going to send it back. Ben Thomas ready for that one, and now we'll look towards the touchline. These Wales games are all the same rubbish game after game, not worth watching. Says General. It's going to be kicked high again. Italy, Murray almost managed to get in the air and take it back. And Nightlife and Booze. You're 19, I think, says Donaldo. 28-32. Yeah, so I'm 25, so I'm slightly younger than that, but I would still say probably not a mile off in terms of 28. I think I look around that late 20s. You're definitely a millennial, says Matthew. And come on, Wales, why are you not bringing it, says Reno. Pasta and spaghetti, my favourites. And Italy goes 16 points up. Wales never scoring 3 tries. Don't look like scoring 1. Do you think Italy can get their bonus point, though? They would need 3 more tries throughout the next 32 minutes. Doable. If you shave, you look 21. Yeah, I don't look very old if I shave, other than, like, my eyes. Just because my baggage under the eyes makes me add a few years, I think. You look older with your suntan, says Robert. And England versus Wales should be a great wooden spoon decider, and Gatland has run out of ideas, I think, says Cal Mack. Right, another knock on, this time from Wales. So Italy have another attacking chance. Gatland just constantly looking frustrated on the sideline. Just, it's got to be hard when you're watching your team just drop the ball every contact. Like, there's only so much you can do. But that's the 10th one that they've probably lost in contact throughout this match. France did not drop off into despair after the World Cup. And Gatland ran out of ideas 5 games ago. And who do you think is better, Man United or Wales? In what regard? Like in football or? I've only got the small bottle today. Shave it all, says Donald. Eyebrows and all, you think? See how that looks? Right, another scrum reset. That seems to be the trend. Drop ball Wales, scrum reset, free kick Italy, or penalty. That's normally the repetition we've had throughout this match. Question is, are we going to get it again? We've had the drop ball, we've had the scrum reset, and now there's only one thing left to have. Penalty Italy. There you go. So that's the trend, and that trend has continued, even with the new front row for the Welsh. Right, I think Italy will take on 3 points here just to get more than 2 converted tries ahead. Not a great game, but the weather has something to do with it. Yeah, I feel like the weather definitely has impacted how these sides have been able to play. Game over, says David. That is quite the bowl cut on that bloke in the background. New Zealand UV is the worst. Hence why a lot of New Zealanders look older than their age, says Matthew. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. I learned that the hard way a few days ago when I got sunburnt feet, like on the top. And I would not recommend doing that, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime you're out barefoot and you think you might get burnt feet, put some sunscreen on them, because the days after getting burnt are much worse. And the win would mean so much more for Italy. 42 months and not showing the game. See Sebastian? Yeah, you're coming up to your 4-year mark in terms of being a member for 4 years. I'll have to look into the badges, won't I, and try and find different colours just to add a bit of something special. It's typical Northern Hemisphere weather. Not to blame, says Reno. I feel bad for Wales. They don't look like they look like they don't know what to do. And Wales certainly need a new coach. Now Tommaso Allen again will kick it high. Nicely controlled. Score still 16 points to 3. Oh, and Wales. Chance on attack here. Elliot D. Nicky Smith. The other front row replacement. Thomas Williams again with the box kick. I haven't seen too many of these actually retained by Wales, and that's going to be a penalty against Wales for being in front. Cloudy, but you get sunburnt, yay. Says RIP. Faster is beating Laven Bread at the minute. Or Lava Bread, I should say. Talking about Gareth Edwards, of course. Says Kevin. Oh, yeah, neck roll there from Talupe Falatau as well. It's just getting worse. Like, there's not much more we can say other than they're just playing bad. You know? Now Tance for the 3 points. That counts as a proposal? Wait, what counts as the proposal? And Falatau, yellow, chick. Sitting 4 from 5 at the moment. Tommaso Allen, he did miss one. Wales are a bad team. Now, 26 minutes remaining. That one has stayed away to the side. Another miss for Allen. And Sunscreen Daily Bro, positives about you. Sharp jawline potential and positive canthal tilt. What's a canthal? And why is mine positive? Is that the nose? Is this a canthal? Because my nose kind of go down, you know? And Hamish, I know you try to be impartial, but you got to admit Wales are terrible. Yeah, we have been for the last 55 minutes, saying that Wales just aren't doing well. How's Fletcher doing? He hasn't set anything on fire, has he? Says Sebastian. I hope not, but it's got to be frustrating, doesn't it? It's also got to be frustrating for Italy, the fact that they've missed their last 2 kicks. Maybe they just need to go for it, try and score that try. From Six Nations Grand Slam winners to Italy's whipping boys, says Donaldo. And Scotland sending rugby players worldwide. Go we, Tommy Allen, says Calmac. Across to the right again. Oh, that was almost a handling error from Tommaso Allen. Paige Rallo up to 8 phases. Will they sack Gatlin? I don't think they've got the money to. I think they decided to pay him far too much, and now they can't afford to buy him out of his contract. So the only way he leaves is if he, decides to quit. Wales rugby is over. Tiny population, no money, no facilities, no young players coming through. Wales punch well above their weight for so long, but it's over. Says Mr. Silly Fun. Now back on the halfway line for the Italians. Some decent defence here from Wales. They've pushed them back a bit. Gatlin, call it a day. Please stop milking the system. Here's Angie. Now kicking it forward. Oh, no, not taken cleanly by Murray. That looked like it was a knock on, but Gatlin says, not Gatland. Referee Carly says play on. That's a circle of life. Wales are the unfortunate team. Draw the straw. On a serious note, Hamish, which side of the turkey has the most feathers? Oh, that was a bit of an ugly one there. Garbisi saying my jaw hurts. Then the referee says you are always dropping, and then Garbisi just takes his hand straight off his jaw, says, oh, I'm not in pain anymore. Ref should have possibly looked at that and just given the penalty against him for trying to milk it. The underside, says Steve. But yeah, the turkey question stumped me, so I kind of moved on from it, Sebastian. But I'm not sure what side of a turkey has the most feathers. Yeah, so he slips over Garbisi, then goes, ow, my mouth hurts, my mouth sore, ref. The ref says you were falling, and Garbisi goes, okay, well, I'll get up then. That's the hairline, says Fraser. And all chick. And taking the heat off England, says Eric J. They're doing the only way for Wales to be able... It's a fair point, actually, Sebastian, the outside. The only way for Wales to be able to compete in and possibly win the Six Nations is for them to import 10 or so tough South Africans. Same in Romania, but it's not like we're competitive to begin with. Are you from Romania? We've got another Romanian. Sebastian's in the chat. I think this would have to be the most Romanians we've had on a live stream for a very long time. So welcome in. Positive cancelled tilt as a Gen Z term. Okay, well I'm not a Gen Z, I don't think. So that probably explains why I didn't know it. Italians deserve it, but Wales really nowhere. Right, another kick here. This time it's going to be Martin Page-Rello. It is slightly annoying that Italy are just trying to take a 3 though. Like, I get why they are, but they've missed it twice in a row. If they were going for the corner, I feel like they would have scored probably 2 tries by now. Page-Rello. He has hit the crossbar, and that is now 3 in a row that Italy have missed where they could have had a crack at the going for a try. Now, Garbisi. It's high. Nicely taken again by Murray. Williams. Goes across to Esarati. And greetings, Hamish. Really good to have you back. That Sandham fella was okay. Give him time and he'll be all right, says Silver Fox. But yeah, it was good of Tim to... Oh, that looked high on Garbisi. He might actually be able to hold his head for that one. But yeah, it's good that he filled in just because we were in the situation of not being able to do anything because of where we were. But yeah. Yeah, Garbisi's actually sore now. They missed 9 points and still winning. Wales are bad, so bad. Greetings from Thailand, says Steve V. Welcome in, Steve. See, I want to feel sorry for Garbisi with the fact that he took a shot to the head there. But when you've tried to do the Hollywood, the breakdown before, or the last contact that you had, I feel like you lose a bit of sympathy. And that was a bad one from Josh Adams. Don't get me wrong. It's probably a yellow, if not something more. But, you know, because he went about the business of trying to milk it last time, I feel like people are showing less sympathy for him. Adams red, says Jimbo. I think they're saying yellow card. I wish we need to go to Soi 6 in Pattaya, Thailand. Just trust me. So what's there, Sebastian, that makes it different from the rest of Thailand? Wales was ranked number 1 in the world in rugby for the first time on 19th of August 2019. Scotland never won the Six Nations. I don't think so. I could be wrong. I don't think they have. Oh, they have? How many times have they won it? Or are they the team that's won it 5 times? No, don't think so. If Wales don't beat Italy, the last time was 1990, says I'm nutty. And Georgia and Spain will be included in the expanded Six Nations within 10 years, says Matthew. I mean, Spain in the 7s has been doing extremely well. Fact check, they were for 2 weeks now, passed on the outside, and no. Going to go back for another Italian penalty. The unfortunate thing that Wales won't sack Gatland until the Six Nations is over. Well, I don't think they can afford to. They're paying him about £500,000. So if they want to sack him, they're going to have to pay him out of his contract, which is going to cost them more than I think Welsh Rugby even have. It makes it even more poor, says Reno. I don't think, they won the last 5 nations in 1999 before it became the Six Nations. I don't think they won the Six Nations, only the 5 nations maybe. Right, they're going to take another crack at the 3 here for Italy. We've got to remember this. Definitely if they manage to beat someone else and then they end up finishing 1 point below everyone, this would be why, because they aren't willing to go for anything more than the 3s. Wales, they have been scrambling. Tommaso Allen, that kick is going over. Maybe now we'll see the Italians start to play a bit more aggressive. 19 points to 3. And last time Scotland won it, it was the 5 Nations, says Cal Mack. Come on, Italy, says Robert there too. Like they've said, Wales still a player down for the next 8 minutes. That's going to make it relatively tricky for them. But it's once again just not ideal. Score Italy, more than 2 converted tries. It's over, says Donaldo. So yeah, now it's 19 minutes for Italy to try and score 3 tries to get 5 points from this game rather than just the 4. I wonder to what extent the rise of football has led to the demise of rugby in Wales, says Steve V. Wales were so much better in 2019, which proves they are really in trouble. And get bloody up there, Wales, says David. Kick downfield, nicely taken. Oh, chopping at the legs of Glenn Murray. Drop ball, knock on. You can take your pick, but it's going to be another scrum for the Italians. Dino Lamb and Ross Vincent. They have both made their way onto the field. Embarrassing, Wales, says General. I think Gregor Townsend was in that 1999 squad, ironically. And in 2019, they actually played against South Africa in the semis. Then England did it in the final. And Wales need that humbling dinosaur coach. And their time has passed. Welsh fans still talk like they're the big dogs. They aren't even close. And Warren Gatland takes Wales out for training. Tells everyone to assume their normal position so they stand and wait for the other team to take a shot at the post. Yep. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, isn't it? Is it? Oh, hang on. So we've had knock-on from Wales, scrum reset. Next it's normally free kick or penalty to Italy. That's been the trend for every scrum pretty much in this game. Zero investment in Wales for rugby as a working man sport. No way they're coming back from this. And Georgia could beat Georgia could beat Wales right now. Maybe, although it's always very hard to tell, isn't it? So hopefully, at some stage they do play each other and we just get to see once again how they do shape up. Oh, okay, it's gone down in the front rows this time. On the short side, Pedrello. Going to be tackled well now. Hathaway, he tried to drop the shoulder into Lamaro and got driven backwards by a metre or 2. I've been Wales supporters for a year, now useless, says William. And Georgia will definitely beat Wales. We are unable to score any tries. Give away endless penalties, says General. Yeah, I mean, the penalty count has to be close to 15 or maybe 10 in this game. Now kick downfield. I see taken by Monty Ioane. Still 16 minutes remaining in this contest. At the stage that this match ends, we'll have about 30 minutes till the start of our next live stream, which will be France versus England. So anyone who is keen for that one, be sure to stick around. Wales heading for 14 losses on the trot. Couldn't happen to a nicer nation, says Bruce. And Georgia just demolished Switzerland with like 110-0. Solid game. Swiss would probably beat Wales, says Tommy K. Oh, Talupe Faletau went up for it. It was a good contest in the air. Ioane does come down with the ball. Schetti. Now Pedrello. Now cross kick attempted from Garbisi. And the mark is called. They should possibly beat Malta since they only play touch rugby. Switch should stick to watches and pen knives, says Sakabula. Although it is always good to see a new nation, or at least the lower ranked nations having a bit of a crack. Yes, like 110-0 doesn't teach you much, but hopefully they do continue to get better. Be 17 by the end of the Six Nations, says Donaldo. I agree the Welsh and the Scots are amazing people, says Jacques. I've been to Wales many times. Leftist, says Bruce. But now, that's a big shot on Aaron Wainwright. Now, once again, Thomas Williams goes for the box kick, and they will get the penalty this time for the high shot. Seriously, aren't the Welsh the nicest people in the world, says Mr. Silly Fun. And it's really been sad for Wales, says Reno. Yeah, a bit too high from Tommaso Allen. And a claim to fame, I knew Mark Taylor at university, arguably the last real leader Welsh rugby had, says Steve. Welsh people aren't the nicest people in the world, us the sheep. Oh, joking, obviously. Says here, are you covering Scotland Island tomorrow? We certainly are, yep. Right, a couple more changes being made. Rizzoli is on to the field for the Italians. Right, 3 minutes remaining of that yellow card for Wales. Honestly, if they can get within 7 somehow, it doesn't look likely, but just be nice to have something, wouldn't it? There has been an incident of bestiality in Wales ever, or there has never been. Unlike England, saw the French team arrive the Eurostar earlier today. Have Wales scored a try in the Six Nations? What was their score up against? Yeah, no, they didn't get any points up against the French. So they've had 3 tries across 146 minutes of rugby. That's not going to win your games, unfortunately. And Italy are currently on the exact same points. Okay, so it's going to stay as a yellow card for Josh Adams too. Hamish, is it true that if a Kiwi does not bet, he's actually an Aussie? Not necessarily. I feel like there are a few bad eggs in both New Zealand and Australia. Most people you can almost get along with, though. You take on the team's performance so far. Italy have looked good. They've played territory well. Wales have been ill-disciplined and terrible with the handling, unfortunately. Hamish, have you ever met a South African? The bookstore here is a New Zealander, great bloke. So I assume you're talking in person. I actually met a fella who was South African while we were fishing. Not recently, but maybe a year and a half ago. But yeah, it was a South African fella, and he was telling us all about different knots and whatnot. And I am some friends, says Rhea. And that's going to be a penalty now to Wales at scrum time. That's a bonus. Wales have had 3 points total the whole championship so far. That's funny stuff. I'm looking forward to the France-Ireland game. Are they playing in Dublin? I believe so. I think it is a home game for Ireland this year. The Welsh couldn't score in a room full of dolled-up sheep, says Tommy. This has to be one of the worst games I've seen at the Six Nations. Honestly, it hasn't been good. Italy at times have had some good moments, but overall the amount of drop balls, yes, the rain played a little bit of a factor, but it's still been lackluster, I think is the best way of describing it. Right. Line out for the Welsh. We needed a game to really wake us up, seeing as we're pretty much doing the all-nighter, and Wales, they haven't brought it. But 12 minutes left, and they're only 5 metres out from the line here. Getting close. Oh, penalty advantage just out from the line. Reaching, he's got there, but was it after he was already holed? Weren't Rugby going to introduce a wet weather ball? I think they were, and then they never did, unfortunately. Hey, Sebastian Orwell, thank you, says Rhea. Right, they're going to be checking this one. What time played? Ireland. So they'll be playing Ireland, Scotland, 4 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow. So whatever the time was for you 50 minutes ago, that time in 24 hours time, Wales are not doing a good job at keeping you awake. No, it's been rough. The amount of scrum resets as well. Right. The ball's reached the line. Is this going to be a try? I think there's a chance that it would be. Okay, they're checking for a double movement by the sounds of it. Fair dinkum try. So here's JD. And have you ever fallen asleep during a live stream? Not quite. Very close before. And in fact, one of the live streams, I was that sleepy that I think I kind of drifted off. But I commentated the whole second half while pretty much being asleep. And I don't remember the half at all. I was just in an autopilot. So, yeah, I don't know how, but managed to get through it. You got called the Kiwi lads. Where are the other lads? Well, they're smart, so they're sleeping. It's currently 4:50 a.m. here in New Zealand. So, yeah, they're the ones who like getting a normal sleep schedule. Panic move, says Robert. Okay, so it's called as a double movement, so it's going to be no try. Wet the ball, but the ball's made of rubber, which is already waterproof, says Donald. Can't believe you don't drink coffee or Red Bull. Your dedication is appreciated, says Albert. And there as well. Something positive from the Welsh, provided a good laugh, says Bruce. But now they have still got themselves the penalty. We have got there the mainstream commentary I had a former playing saying the wet weather conditions passing benefits Wales. Like Italians don't live in the hottest country out of the lot, says here. And I feel so sorry for you at times, says Rhett. Sometimes you guys see me yawning constantly. But, you know, we're doing all right at the moment. Do you take power naps the day after night streams? Sometimes. It depends whether or not I've got streams the next night. So, that's a good rolling. More Wales have scored the try. And Aaron Wainwright, the man who came off the bench. Come back on, anyone? Maybe. Wales are not completely useless. They can be used as a bad example. And what a drive, says Jimbo. Yeah, 5 metres out and they just go into the short side. Pushing their way over with Wainwright. And mate, can't blame you. Up early and it's a snoozer. This is just the starter. Once this England versus France game comes on, should be a treat, says here. And yeah, we did cover the URC game that took place before that, or before this one, which was the Bulls versus the Stormers. So yeah, we'll be about 6.5, 7 hours worth of commentary by the end of that England-France game, which is about 4 times as much sleep as I've had in terms of time. Well, the timing was not ideal, says Sebastian. That's better, says Steve V. Right, the kick is missed. So Wales still need a bit more, but it's something. It's their first try in the Six Nations, 150 minutes in. Like they've said now for the Welsh, they can't go too crazy here. They just have to stick to their game, which they don't know what that is, but they're trying to find it. It'll be interesting 10-minute drama, penalties up for grabs. Right, Josh Adams in possession about 25 metres out from his own line. Right, if Wales were to lose this game, they would drop to 12th in the rankings, which would be their lowest ranking ever since the rankings were embedded. Josh Adams tried to milk that penalty. He's asking for it, but he ran straight into the back of the guy, so there's no sympathy there. Now 40 metres out from the line. Garbisi. Going to send this one high once again. And Blair Murray. Great catch under the high ball. Should mention Alejandro Garbisi is on the field for Paige Rello. And the way things are going, Uncle Max will need to play in the next match, even if he is 82. And just had leg surgery, says Steve V. Stick to your non-existent plan. It's like when you try to log in with a fictional account, says Seb. Yeah, that's the thing. It does seem like something's changed recently, though. in like the last few minutes, they almost seem organised, the Welsh, believe it or not. So, 8 minutes left. One penalty soon. Like, if they can get out of this game with 1 point, they've done extremely well, Wales. Because there's no reason for them to be able to get a point. But then that's also down to the fact that Italy just haven't gone for the jugular and they've been willing to take threes at every single opportunity. And they've missed quite a few chances as well. Monty Ioane trying to get that one nicely slapped back by the Welsh, and penalty goes the way of Italy. Right, are they going to go for the corner or are they going to go for the 3 to extend their lead back to 14? I sense a positive Wales, says Robert. Tomo was subbed and Wainwright upping it is what happens, says Jimbo. So Lupe Falatau, the man who was penalised for that, they're going to go for the 3 again here, Italy. And I can hear Gatlin at the post-match interview. There are positives to be taken out of this. Wales rugby was of the 70s, great era. But this, at least, I guess, for Italy's sake, it uses up more time in the game, which is good. Poles must kick, says Robert. And this would mean that no matter what, Italy at worst, and that's at maximum worst, will draw if this kick goes over. This is sad for World Rugby. Both these sides would be demolished in the championship, says Robert. He's got it over. And that is now going to make the score 22 points to 8. Very disappointing from Italy. No ambition to get the bonus point. It is, in a way, isn't it? Like, I get it. Going for the win. They've controlled this game. They've never really looked like losing from the first 20 or so minutes. But are you going to win the Six Nations by not getting bonus points? In a competition that normally 5 points is the standard rather than the outlier. Like a lot of the other sides this round, France, they'll be looking for 5. England will be looking for 5. Scotland and Ireland, they'll both be looking to score a whole heap of tries and get bonus points, even if they are defeated. 20 plus times Tomo kicked. Wales recovered 3 of them. That's Gatlin's tactic, no excuse. Says Jimbo, second half summed up kick practice for Italy. Now Wales again have got the possession just inside of their own half. To the right-hand side. Next live stream that we are going to be doing will be starting at around 30 minutes time. Another penalty goes to Wales. Fair dinkum Hamish bonus points, says JD. Someone should put together a compilation of all the national anthems as sung by rugby crowds from all the top nations, minus Argentina and Italy, maybe. Says Sakabula. At this stage, I'm just hoping that Wales can find a way to recover by the 2027 World Cup. Nice bit of territory gained for the Welsh yet again. Hamish will Border Patrol New Zealand do a 2-part episode conclusion. I have no idea, Padraig, if I'm being honest with you. But now nicely taken by Talupe Falatau. Starting to make some meters. And Matthew Carley has given the advantage. Told to use it. And they drop it. They will go back for the penalty. Italian defence has been good though, says I'm noting. There's one positive for them. They've only conceded 1 try, and that's a very happy man at the moment. And really hope Australia does well against the British and Irish Lions, a competitive series. Kiwi border guards be like, we don't border anyone. And in order to rise, you have to fall. The comeback is always better than the setback. Wales, the Dragons will rise again. I like the optimism. It might just be a little while, I would say, before we see the the Phoenix rise from the ashes. Oh, claimed by Wales, another rolling ball, and it's another advantage for the Welsh. See, this is what Italy should have been doing. Wales have looked like scoring, or at least had a decent crack of scoring each time they've kicked for the corner. I just want Scotland to stay in the top 6 for the next World Cup. I don't want us in a group with Ireland and South Africa ever again, says Cal Mack. Right, they're still playing penalty advantage. Here comes Aaron Wainwright. Sitting 10 metres out from the line. Little chip in behind Rodri, and it's going to be claimed by the Italians. Drew Cameron, look where South Africa was in 2017. Right, going back for the original penalty. There's only 3 minutes left here for Wales. I think they've realised that this is their chance to get a bonus point from this game. Okay, they've just pretty much been warned. Any more penalties down this end of the field and someone will be going to the bin. The fix for Wales may just be to get a better coach. Maybe Neighbour I can make them rise, says Cameron Kay. I don't think there's many coaches who are putting their hands up to coach Wales at the moment just because of the situation that Welsh rugby is in. And it isn't just the international team, it's just rugby in general. Now thrown in to Lupe Falatau. Oh, Wales have been told to get out of it. But off topic for this one, but do you reckon there's hope for a union in your Anzac neighbours now that the Wallabies are climbing back? Heard Union has been its worst viewership over there. I mean, they've got potential, but they have to make sure that they don't. Oh, this is going to be a yellow card for the Italians. Yeah, they have to make sure that they don't fall back into old ways. Because if they do, then they're going to be in trouble again. Come on, Italy, you are the best, says Francisco. Nah, these are the dark days for Wales. Only drinking can fix it. What could a bonus point benefit Wales? They are now guaranteed to come last, says Albert. Not necessarily, right? Like, theoretically, if Italy lose all their other games and Wales cause an upset somewhere along the way, you know, could be an option. Marco Riccioni has made his way from the field with the yellow card. Aaron O'Gara keen on the Wallabies job as door opens to overseas candidates. And can we do the try scorers at the bottom of the screen for the next stream? We certainly can. I'll add them in for... Oh, that's a penalty try for Wales, which means they don't even have to take the kick. Can they get a bonus point last chance? Well, they currently do have it. And Wales, theoretically, if they score a converted try now, they draw this game with the Italians. And if there's anyone to blame for it, it would be Italy for their negative mindset of going for so many threes. So that would be brutal. Does it look like happening? Probably not, but they would certainly look back at this game as a missed opportunity if that did happen. He is worse than Wales are today. And 13 men, says Jimbo, yeah, playing up against a rugby league side in terms of the numbers. And kicked off by the Italians. They will go as deep as they can. And nicely taken by Lupe Falatau. Right, last minute of the game. Wales cannot afford to kick this ball away, but knowing their tactics throughout the rest of the match, they possibly would consider it. Aaron Wainwright now, trying to crash forward. Looking for the turnover and the breakdown. The Italians, they can't quite get it. Now Williams going back across to the right. That looked a little bit high from Italy. Need some good hands, and that is exactly what they've got now for the Welsh. The crowd's starting to come alive too, but they're still inside of their own territory. 25 seconds. That was a terrible pass to Jack Morgan, but great hands from him. It's hilarious to see the bottom enders fighting for a bonus point. See the right Amish negative mindset. Now passing across to the right-hand side. Another big shot coming in. Just seems to be one of those ones that maybe Wales needed to be losing badly to then sort it out. Now, back across to the left-hand side. Hamish Fixture score. It's an online scoreboard and it isn't updating. It's updating the time, but it hasn't updated the score. Nick Tompkins. Oh, great hands from the big man. I think that's Eddie James. I haven't said that man's name once. Currently, Wales, they're just looking for a penalty here. What happened in the Stormers game? It was 1 point difference between those two teams. Italy in the breakdown. Were they legal? Yes, they were. Says the referee. Oh, Italy should think about this. Rather than just taking the tap and kicking it out, have a crack at the post. But then what if they hit the post? They've been very close to hitting it multiple times throughout this match. But at the same time, that would take away a bonus point from the Welsh. You know, it would be a more positive. Nah, they're going to kick it out. They're going to say thanks very much. And Italy win for the first time at the Stadio Olimpico against the Welsh. And hold on, Italy says Kiwi passport, bro. And all over, well done. The Bok B team against Italy with Lebok doing the kicking. Bok's going to slip up, says Albert. And also go to BC, says no thanks, says Jimbo. Yeah, there are a few questions in terms of later on in the Six Nations. Will that bonus point be a factor? A few big games still coming up. Italy, next they will be playing France at home. Home game for Italy, that is, so could be a big one. But nonetheless, we've got 24 minutes till the next live stream, ladies and gentlemen. It will be England versus France. If you are new to the channel, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated you all being here for these matches. And yeah, like I said, we're not too far away from that next match. So be sure to stick around for that one as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.